Hey everybody, welcome back. Today is Thursday, the third day of Bootcamp. My name is Emily. I'm a graphic designer in Southern California, but maybe more importantly, I am your Bootcamp sergeant this week while we were designing a campaign for a local hiking spot to become a national park. So it's all in the name of good fun, but we've been creating a campaign across different platforms and channels and programs using Adobe to make this very believable and just have some fun in the process. So day one, we did the campaign launch of figuring out like, what are we going to say? What is this going to look like? What colors are we using? Selecting out fonts, everything like that. We made the poster and that like set us sailing there. So then day two, yesterday, we did social media. So we did something in Illustrator, and then we also jumped into Express to design there and then do some scheduling features. Then today we're going to do mailers because if you can feel it, it's real, AKA we're sending mailers to people. So this looks even more real. And then we're going to be developing a parking pass as well, so that when you got to the park, it was very official and you had to hang it, on your rearview mirror. And then tomorrow, to wrap it all up and again touch like another aspect of a campaign, we're going to be doing email design to bring it all together and make this again just so believable that everyone thinks, wow, how close do we live to a national park? So it's just me today in the stream again. So if you are here, jump into chat so you can hang out with each other, hang out with me. I'm doing my best to monitor both, but sometimes the design brain takes over and I'm just focused on that. But I enjoy like looking over there and seeing everyone. So jump in there, chat with me, chat with each other, and let's like get this thing going. So we're gonna look at, again, just our inspiration in case you're joining the feed for the first time. These are the national park styles that we've been going for. Very fun, iconic, classic, everything and above, very fun. And then here is our park poster. So that's our messaging as well. Here's our key art. Oh, we're just gonna keep focusing on that. Here's our key art, our typefaces, our colors and everything. And then this is our social media work that we did yesterday. Again, pulling in some more of those colors and showing like how this would build out across platforms. And then today we are going to get started by building a mailer in Illustrator, and then we're going to jump into InDesign. InDesign, I feel like, is like one of the underloved programs or misunderstood programs. It does a lot of amazing things. Like if you ever find yourself asking the question of like, oh man, this is hard, I wish there was like a program that did that. I feel like 9 times out of 10, it's InDesign and you just need to figure out how to make it do what you need. But if you've also been watching the stream this week, you've seen me make many typos, which I think I have one on this one maybe. Someone pointed out to me on Instagram. Yeah, I spelled local wrong. So if you're like me and making typos, data merge is going to be your friend because you're going to be taking something a little bit more boring like a Google spreadsheet or Excel sheet, but very data rich, and then merging that with your design. So you don't have to worry about typing anything yourself. It just kind of does it for you. So let's get started then in Illustrator building our print piece. So we're going to make sure this is in inches because we are going to be doing print. We're going to call this our Mount Rubidoux National. I should shorten these, honestly. That might help us out here. Park mailer. And then I'm going to put 5x7 in here because I feel like 4x6 is probably more standard. Or sorry, width should be 7, height should be 5. And because we're going to be doing print, we're going to add a 0.125 bleed, which is pretty standard. And we're going to go press create. Yes, curious to learn about data merge. Data merge is pretty exciting, so get ready for that. I'm going to pull in our artwork from here. I'm going to pull in the vector file instead of using the final file just so we can resize this. Oh, I don't want my pen tools open. So I'm going to highlight this, press Command C, come over here, Command V, zoom out, see what we're doing. And I'm going to scale this down. So I'm going to move my mic, it's a little close. I'm going to grab from the corner, hold Option Shift to like shrink this down and keep it scaled and constrained, and zoom in a little bit and see how we're doing. This border got crazy. So this border is just a stroke right now. So that's why it kind of scaled crazy. So I'm going to grab this background. Oh, actually, I'm going to scale this up. I think this background is a cutout of the rocks. And so I want to make sure that we're not doing anything too crazy with that, or like changing it so you're seeing the background. So let's scale this up. Let's see what this gets us. Okay. So this type is definitely going to have to move, which is expected. And maybe we make this fun. Maybe it says like, hi from Mount Rubidoux, or like, I don't know. I'm just going to draw a rectangle over here, and I'm going to send this to the back. So I'm going to use my eyedropper tool right here to click and sample from this color, right click, arrange, send it back. That way it's behind our rocks. And I'm going to move our clouds over because I know those are not connected to anything. And then I'm going to merge these together just so. So I clicked on both of them using Shift. So click here, hold Shift, click the second one, go to Pathfinder, merge those shapes together, and see how it came up in the layer. So we're going to right click this again, send this to back. You don't have to merge them, but to me, it makes it a little bit cleaner. And since we're using so many layers, that seems smart. So I don't like that these mountains aren't going to be clean. So our artboard is this black line. Oh, actually, you know what? Wait, we're going to have a border. Never mind. We're going to be okay with that. So we're going to resize this then. I'm going to resize it to the bleed. So again, the bleed is that red line. The black line is our artboard and the red line is the bleed. So when you're getting these printed, when they're cutting them down from like a big stack, say you order like 500 of these, your printer is going to like be cutting them. And so the bleed allows for like shift and then also cut if they move your artwork or anything. So let's make sure this is, and I'm gonna use properties just to make sure that this is actually 5x7. So let's do, or I guess it should be 7.25 with our bleed, and then 5.25, 5.25. How's everyone doing on this Thursday? Andrew is our producer. He is silently listening to all of this, but him and I were talking about how tired we were on a Thursday. So if everyone else is tired, we're glad you showed up today and hang out with us. Hopefully we'll bring the energy and the exciting design. Oh, I wasn't highlighting that. Okay. Now that I have it highlighted, I'm just going to drop this down. So since we aligned it, so what I did here is I made it 5x7 or 5.25 by 7.25. So it's going to fill that whole bleed. And then I aligned it using the align panel to the artboard to make sure it's centered. And that's going to give us a really clean border. And that just harkens back to our poster, which harkens back to the original. So that's why we're going to keep that there. And then it also buys us a little space there, so we don't have to like change our artwork too much. So I feel like that looks good. Okay, so let's grab our type from here. We're going to scale this down. And then yesterday I worked on making this an outlined path, I think for social, but I didn't do it here. So I'm going to click on our stroke here and bring this down. That's why it's so big. And then we're going to convert this. So we're going to do object expand. And that way now it's a shape and it won't continue to scale like that. So I'm going to group that again. Love that. Everyone's excited for data merge. It's very exciting, guys. Okay. Oops. Let me grab that one. Come here. Okay. Love that. Oops. All right. So this is going to be, I think, just like a, maybe we'll do a wish you were here one too. I think that could be fun. Maybe that one's like from the gift shop, but that one probably won't be as data merged. So we're going to do this, and this is going to be like the, like not grand opening, but I guess like the announcement to the local people of we've made it national. We are now a nationally recognized park, or as far as I'm concerned, at least. This would be really cute right here, but I don't think we're going to be able to see it. So maybe it's just going to have to stay like off center, or maybe we put that, you know what? Maybe we put that on the back. So maybe let's pull out this little guy. Maybe our stamp just sits up here. So we'll just do like a reduced version of what this looks like. And I'm going to align these just to the selection. So we'll align this here. Our cute little Riverside bell, our icon, our legend. Okay. Align that. This looks, oh, nope. Let's align all three of these. Love it. Okay. How do we feel? Oh, and let's, you know what, let's save this just to make sure. It's going to save in our computer. We're going to go to our national park folder here, and we're going to do just a new folder, and we will do a 5x7 print. Okay. And then our file name's already there. Great. Save it. Yes. Amazing. And that way, if anything happens, we're covered. I'm going to move these clouds down a little bit to fill some of the space. Move that panel back over there. Okay. Cute. I like this. Okay. Maybe this is a little big. Maybe we'll shrink this down. Love it. All right. Where's my background? Okay. That looks awesome. Okay. So that's going to be the front of our card. And then I'm going to pull this copy onto the back of our card. So we'll use this, and then maybe we'll do, should we pull in one of these? Let's just do this for now. Okay. So that's going to be the front of our card, and we'll save that as a PDF eventually, but let's jump over to InDesign then. So we're going to do a new file as well. Make sure this is in inches for printing purposes. So we're going to do 5x7, or what do I call it? National Park print. So the reason that we're going to be doing these separately is because I'm not data merging anything that's on the front of the card. I'm just data merging the back of the card for the mailer purposes. So we don't really need to do both in here. You could, if you wanted to be like something personalized on the front, like, hey, so-and-so, welcome to whatever. You could data merge both sides, but just for dipping our toe in the water here, we're gonna just do the back. Okay, so margins are fine. Our bleed, that's what we need to make sure. 0.125, love it. Okay, gorgeous. So you notice that she's looking similar, which is great. I'm trying to think. Okay. So this is the, again, our poster is amazing. I made some little fictitious websites, or not websites, street addresses here, parking numbers, and then type of pass. We're going to be using that later on. But so for this one, we're just going to do the mailing address. So this is going to be like a mailer that's going to go to all of Riverside people. Actually, I think none of these are like in Riverside, but thanks to Google, we have these. So I downloaded these. So when you get your content from a client, It's probably gonna look like this or an Excel sheet. The most important thing you do here is you're gonna do file, download as, and you're gonna do a CSV or a comma separated value. So there's your new acronym for today, the CSV file. So you're gonna like download that. I already downloaded it, so I have it sitting down here. So you have that ready, go back into your program. And then you're gonna make a text box to be formatted how it is that you want. So I'm gonna go, to get this panel open, you're gonna go down to Window, Utilities, Data Merge, and get that open. So we are going to then select our data source. So you click the little hamburger menu and you're gonna do select data source. And so from our downloads, there she is, you're gonna open it up. And you're gonna just assign the text box by using that. So let's highlight this and format this how we want. So I think the fonts we were using Condor, I wanna say. So let's do our names in Condor. And we're gonna size this how we want. So normally like a mailer, right, is probably like gonna be split in half. So I'll draw a little line because I feel like that kind of helps visualize like what a traditional postcard looks like. And let's align this to the center. Look at that little guide, so helpful. Okay. So here's our name, love that. I'm probably gonna scale this up a little bit to make sure our names are fitting. And then once you data merge, you're gonna have to go back through and check that like nothing's getting cut off, or it should let you know actually. And then we're gonna delete this. And then while I'm still in this text box, we're gonna click address. So the addresses are gonna come in, and then I'm gonna format this as well. Let's do this. I think it was Colt is our second one. Yeah, might be a little too extended. I'm worried that this is just gonna go crazy. Because it's such an extended typeface. So let's do something simple. Let's just do like Helvetica. Helvetica. Okay. Helvetica has a song, and that was the song in case you didn't know. Let's do medium. Okay, and we'll scale that up a little bit so no one has a hard time reading it. Love it. And this is probably going to be a little bit longer, just judging off of the copy we were seeing. So that looks great. And then I'm going to bring in our little seal right here because I feel like it's so official, but because we're going to InDesign, I'm going to outline this. So I'm going to Command Shift O. So now everything is outlined. Here it's live text, here it's outlined. I'll show you what happens. If you paste this into InDesign without outlining it, it tends to get, well, that actually imported very interestingly. Normally it like adds really crazy spacing and stuff like that. It doesn't like to jump over. So I usually outline it to bring it in correctly. We'll just put this up here. Actually, yellow might not be the best color. Let's change that. Let's grab our colors too. Hello, pull these in here. Okay. Let's make this maybe the dark green. I think that might be a little more legible on its own. So jump into InDesign. Andy said, what a great website. Wow, thank you. Okay, so actually, this is a good point. I was gonna put down here, if this was like a normal piece that was just sitting like at an office or a front desk or something, this would be fine. But because it's going to be mailed, this is usually like lived in by the post office for all of their sorting purposes and the amazing things they do. So we'll probably put it up here, or maybe we just stack it in the corner. That might be a good option, but let's let it live up here. I'm going to pull this down a little bit. And then I'm going to put a little box here also to remind us that a post stamp is going to go here. Maybe we'll just do like a little like little stamp moment. Stamp here, please. Stamp here. Okay. Or maybe this is prepaid because who knows, but let's do paragraph, center that, put her up here. We don't really need this type, so I'm gonna make it tinier. So it just kind of hangs out over there. Why I'm spending time formatting it, I don't know. It's probably just habit. Okay, so let's align these little guys so they hang out together. We don't need to align it to the page though, so let's change that to selection, align, align. It's a big stamp, but it'll be okay. Looks like it's sitting in the corner nicely. Love that. So one thing, I'm just going to show you this before we jump into data merging, just to make sure everything looks good. So in InDesign, everything previews like this to really show you, there's a lot of hidden characters that can happen when you're laying out like a whole book or something like that, or a bigger document, which is what InDesign is for. So in order to get away from that, you can do view and then do preview. Sometimes I design like that just towards the end to make sure like, hey, without all those extra little boxes, like, does this look okay? I'm gonna make this like 0.5 maybe. So yeah, like looking at it now without the box, with the box, it feels fine, but without the box, you're like, oh, that's kind of far over. So maybe we're gonna scoot that over a little bit. And I'm gonna make these smaller so that way, if it does data flow pretty big, it goes just that way. I'm gonna make sure this is aligned to our page this time. It is, and then I'll do the same with this guy. I'm going to visually align this then, since technically that was aligned, but I want the bell to sit directly over that just so it feels equal. And then maybe let's give them like a little like, hey, we're in the neighborhood or something like that. So let's do like, we're new, or it's official. Let's do that. We're going to be announcing that this is a national park now. It's official. if Emily can spell. Okay, let's do condor again. Okay, I know I'm really stalling here on the data merging. I apologize. But we want this to look just perfect when we send it. We'll leave it in black. That might be better. Let's just make that a little bit bigger because we're really excited about how official it is. And then I'm going to jump here and say we made it to the list. We're now a national local park. Or maybe we'll say Mount Rubidoux. Mount Rubidoux is now, and let's capitalize it, even though this is obviously fictitious, a national local park. And technically it's just a national park, but since this is all fictitious, I'm just doing it that way. Okay, and then we're gonna do character. Let's make this Helvetica as well. Helvetica medium, maybe. Actually, that's pretty heavy. Let's do Helvetica light or regular and do that down. I'd say like don't usually go down past 9. You can, I've done it. I apologize for doing that, but I'd say yeah, keep it around 10. That's probably helpful. And then I don't like when it does like an automatic hyphenation. So we're just gonna go into paragraph, unclick hyphenate. And then we're just going to put some placeholder text here. So if you go under type, fill with placeholder text, that's just going to fill out the rest of this. And if I had an amazing content team, they would write something here for us. But for now, I'm just going to make this look like it's copy. We love that. And then let's add to, like, if this was actually a client piece, they'd probably have like mount, or let's add like a website and like an Instagram handle. So let's do like mount or at Mount Rubidoux. And then maybe it's Mount Rubidoux NP for national park, and then Mount Rubidoux NP.com. Maybe it should be like dot mountain. Okay, let's scale this down. Let's change this into maybe this would be good for Colt. I feel like that could be fine. Colt medium. And scale this way down. Or if you're getting really fancy, you could do like a QR code, even though I don't like QR codes that much, just design-wise. They're very functional, very helpful, but not always a favorite from a designer point of view. Okay, that's cute. I like that. I'm gonna scale this over a little bit so we have some like cleaner line breaks. Love that. I'm trying to think, is there anything from the front that we want to pull back here? I feel like for now this is good, but cute. Okay, so that's our little back of the card. Let me know what you guys think in chat if we're missing anything or like should add anything exciting. That's gonna be that. And then maybe we should put like an opening. I'm wondering, I don't know, maybe like a call to action is what I would think here for this to be like effective marketing, but let's just do this for now. So we're gonna have these, and then we're gonna go back to our data merge panel, and we are gonna click this button right here. Actually, let's press preview just so we can see. So those are spaced pretty far apart, right? Like that's not normally how you would see that. So let's pull this up a little bit. So we'll shrink that, and then I'm going to pull my address up a little bit and pull these down so they're a little more centered. And let's preview again just to see. Yeah, I'm not mad about that, but let me like pull this up a little bit. And also know this is not my address. This is from Google Random Generator. Although it does look like it's missing part of the address. So let's make sure that it's not. It does look like it's missing part of it. That's interesting. Could not tell you why. There must be a hard line break. Oh, right here, I see. Okay, so if I press return, if I delete it, would that fix it? Let's see. Okay, so let me delete that. Andrew is telling me in my ears that yes, that is the problem. I should have Andrew come on and narrate this for you guys, what I'm doing. He could be our data merge narrator. So I'm just gonna go and delete this. Sorry, this is so boring, but it is gonna prove it. And it does show you again that hidden characters have a lot more power than you think they do. And if, you find yourself in that situation, it's probably a hidden character issue. Okay, so let's do this again. So we'll do file, download it as CSV. It should just jump on down there, yay. Okay, we're gonna go back to InDesign, and then I should have to I'm just gonna delete these, I think. Or can I choose a new data source? Let's see. Select data source, let's try this again. Changing data source, that's fine. Okay, let's do that. So this will be our new version then. Okay, so that would be our name. I'm gonna delete this one just to make sure. Okay, so this should be good then. Okay, so let's press preview and see. And we got our whole address. Amazing. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do though is I don't know if it'll work here. Let's see. If I take off the hyphenation, let's see if that'll change it since this is like our template one. Hopefully it gives us that clean line break. Okay, I'm liking how this looks. Maybe we'll make this italic. Maybe we give a little space. Love it. Let's not do space. Who spaces out that? That'd be crazy. Okay. Cool. So this looks good. I'm liking how this looks. And then let's go ahead and data flow this. So we're going to go back to data merge, and then we're going to go ahead and press this little fancy, I don't know what this looks like. It looks like a phone, honestly. I'm going to click that and say data merge. We're going to merge all records. Yes. And then this is going to show how they merge out correctly. You can change this and do a different like option for layout and things like that. If you're doing images, this is also very helpful. But we're just doing really simple data. So we're just going to press OK. And then it's going to send this little dialog, which always scares me. I always think something went very wrong, but this is going to tell you a good thing. No overset text was generated, and that's great. So what that means is that when we were doing this, like if it had been too small, right, this, we're missing, let me turn off my preview mode so you can see this. Screen mode, normal. See this little plus guy right here? This would mean that we had overset type, and it'll tell you right here as well. If we came down here and did pre-flight, it's going to be like, you have overset text, and it'll take you to where it is. So that little error or that little dialog box tells us that we did not have that problem, which is great. So let's go into preview mode just so we can see everything really big. So I'm going to press Shift W to go into preview mode, and we're going to tab through and look at that. All of our, not just the short address. I thought we missed something there. Okay. All of our stuff came in clean and made it, which is amazing. And we didn't have to do anything. So this was only what, like 10 people, I think, but imagine you were doing a much bigger data set. You were doing an actual mailer to entire city. That's going to take a lot more time. So this is a fast way of doing it. And then again, you're not having to type all this stuff, and you're not responsible in case anything goes wrong, right? I mean, you are in some instances, I guess, but overall, it's going to be a lot easier for you. So then what I would do from here is I would go file export. And these are the files that you would pass off to your clients, right? So we're going to go into the 5x7 print, National Park, and I'm going to say this is like the back. Some printers, 5x7 back. Some printers will take the InDesign file and run it like that. Some don't. So this is how I would do it, just in case you're passing off print files, which I'm guessing actually you wouldn't send it this way. You would just send the data set to the printer, and they'd probably do this on their end. But if you had to, if you're printing in-house, like say you're printing badges or you're printing something just at a smaller scale, like table numbers or place settings, this would work for that. So we're going to make sure we have all of our pages. Yes. We're going to do create separate files from PDF, or create separate PDF files to make sure that we're not getting this just as like a stack. Again, the stack would be easier if you were going to be sending it out like that. But I'm going to do individual so we can have control over that. Or actually, we probably could do multiple per page. Would be 5x7. I think 2 would fit, but let's just do it this way. So we'll do like that, and we're going to add our bleed setting so that outputs correctly. Great. Export. And now we should be getting 10 different files. Wow, look at that. That's awesome. And then I would do the same thing for the front of our PDF. So we'll just send this one. We'll just leave it as the front. Love that. Let me meme it at the front. We're going to press save. I'm going to unclick these to flatten it. We don't want compression, but we do want our bleed settings. Love it. And let's go back to our print. And here we go. We got our front file, amazing, with an extra bleed around it. And then we have the back with all of the different backs. So look at that, amazing things. And it only took like 2 clicks to get everything, or maybe more than that, but a couple clicks to get everything in there correctly. So that is the start of data merge. And so now we're going to have a little bit more fun, and we are going to do a parking pass. So these are the parking passes that I pulled just as inspiration. Where are they? I just grabbed these from Google. I don't think we're going to do something like that complicated. That seems really busy. But I think this is really cute. I think there's a lot of fun like copy we could put in here. This is really fun too. We could do some like cool print stuff. And then I'm thinking like this is kind of the vibe. So this is right. Like when you get there, you either get it for the day or, you know, for the month or whatever you've paid for. And it just helps you keep track of who's there and everything like that. So I don't know, maybe we'll do like, I don't know, this looks like 3x4 maybe. So let's go ahead and start that. So we'll do this in the same file since this is just our print files. And there's not much going on here. So let's do 3x5 or by 4 maybe. Cute. And then I'm going to do just a simple little punch out kind of like this instead of something like, I mean, that's not that hard to do, but we'll get started here. Okay, so I'm going to use this as my whole shape and then draw it big like this. Maybe it'll be green. Let's see. And then I'm going to make that as like a punch out path. So I'm going to use this as white just so I can see what's happening before I do it. And then let's make this a little rectangle. So this, I think, is definitely how they did this kind of shape. But maybe let's see if we can get this like tilted and looking cool. So we'll do it up like that, like this. And then let's grab both of those shapes, merge them together, and then we'll rotate it maybe. Let's see, let's double check. Let's just drag this in here so we're not doing both here. Thank you, Oregon State Park, for giving us some references here, aka something I pulled off of Google, but it's really working for us. Okay, so let's make sure, one thing I would say, this looks a little thick, so let's make it a little smaller. Pull this out. I would make sure that you're placing this, again, this would probably be done by your printer who has like your die cut machine and cutout machine, but I would place this in a way that's usable. So like, let's make sure this isn't more than like, I don't know, half an inch from here so that when you're hanging it up, it doesn't tear. So let's see, what size are we at here? We are at, yeah, half an inch. Look at that. Okay, maybe, and then let's find center. I'm gonna pull out some guides. I'm gonna press Command R to turn on my rulers, and I'm just gonna pull these guides out to match the middle here. Love that. Okay, so let's do, oops, like that. And then I'm gonna cut this out, but I'm gonna make a copy just in case something goes wrong here and we don't want this anymore. This is my non-destructive destructive workflow that I continue to use. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight both of these and come back to my Pathfinder panel here, and I'm gonna cut it out. Well, what's the right one? That's the right one, the second one. So we did minus front. So we're subtracting this front shape from the green shape, like that. Love it. Okay, I kind of like how they have this like texture situation happening here. So maybe we're just gonna pull in our artwork and see how that looks. So let's grab our, move this guy away. How did everyone feel about our first round of data merging? Was that just thrilling for you to see? Oops. Okay, let's copy this guy. Why is everyone grouped? That was weird. Copy, paste, love this. Okay, we're gonna get rid of our border for this one. And let's move this off of here for now. Okay, the only issue I'm seeing, right, is that our artwork is more this side. So maybe we flip our, here, let's move this. Let's think ahead here. Maybe we flip the parking pass cutout to the other side. So let's do this. Let's do reflect and do it on that side. The other option I think would be just to like scale the artwork over, but let's see if we could do it this way to keep the integrity of our art and not have to like rework it too much. Again, that would have to be a conversation with your printer if they can do that, but I would assume they could. Okay, let's group this. Well, sorry, let's delete this first. And now let's group this. Group. Okay, and we're gonna scale this down again, holding Option Shift to scale towards the center. I'm gonna send this to back, arrange, send to back. I'm gonna drop the opacity just to see where we're laying out here. Oh, that looks great. Wow, look at that. She's gorgeous. And then if you haven't been here in the past few days, so Mount Rubidoux is like a national, or not national. See, I'm so convinced, guys. Mount Rubidoux is like a local hiking spot, and this is like one of the most iconic views. Like you can see this from the whole city. So that's why we're designing with this. And we chose these like really nice springtime colors, so it looks very warm or friendly and cool, not too warm. Let's like round our corner. Again, that would be something that printers would do, but I kind of want to round these ones just for our sake. I think it looks nicer, kind of matches theirs too. Okay, love that. So I'm going to turn this opacity back to 100, and then I'm just going to use this as a clipping mask. I think that would probably be the easiest way to do this. So I'm going to click our front shape, hold shift, click our back group, right click, and do make clipping mask. And look at that, she clipped right down, which is amazing. So then our next question is going to be, where's our information going to sit? So their information is definitely sitting here, and they have a little bit of the room at the top. So I think that's something that we could do too. So let's do our Mount Rubidoux. Let's group this, bring this smaller. So maybe we do need to move that down, or maybe move the shape a little bit. Where this is cut out, right? So we had a little more room, but maybe we just put it above the cross, and then we'll just shift this down. So I'm gonna click into this group. So since this is a clipping mask, I'm gonna double click in. I'm gonna click again to highlight it, and then I'm gonna just hold shift and drag this down a little bit. And then that gives us a little more room there. Maybe it's the angle that this is going at. Maybe let's get rid of the angle. Okay. We're going to release our clipping mask. We are going to change our shape because I don't think that's going to work super well. So let's come back here in our non-destructive workflow. I want to rotate this angle so it's not quite as extreme. I think that should still work as like a cutout for you. So let's cut that out, what we did before, and then we're going to bring that back over. Get that non-destructive workflow. She's helping. Okay, transform, reflect. And change it back that way. And then we're gonna do our clipping mask again. So click the front, click the back, right click, make clipping mask. Yeah, okay, good. That's giving us more room to work with, so I feel more comfortable putting this up here. And then we can move our artwork back up. I feel like we have more room now. I'm gonna tab it over a little bit. So again, as you're looking at this, make sure that you're looking at the black line. The black line is our actual artboard and the red line is our bleed line. So just pretend that like this, for all intents and purposes, does not exist, right? So if that got cut off, we wouldn't be too sad about it, or we would not be sad about it, because nothing important was there. Maybe scale this down a little bit. Love that. Okay, this is cute. So let's see, let's add in this type of information, or at least put a spot for that information. So just so we can get an idea. So I'm gonna make this white, see where the artwork is gonna sit. Love it. Okay, and maybe pull these corners in to make it rounded. I like that. Still can't really see it, so let's see if we can scale this up a little bit. Okay, not mad, don't hate it. Something good's happening here. Okay, yeah, or maybe this comes down. Maybe we like that better. What do you guys think? Should it be down here or should it sit at the top maybe? This is gonna be our parking information. I like this green. Maybe we do, I'm just gonna use eyedropper to like pull some of our colors and see what I think is gonna give us like the most readability here for like if this is something that someone's having to monitor, right, and check that cars are actually parked where they should be. Let's make sure. And so since maybe we're gonna like give up this top space now, let's do like less important information but still nice information up here. We'll make it the dark green as well maybe. Love that for us. Okay, cute, very fun. Okay, let's zoom back out. Maybe this did stay white and we'll just add our text as the color. Maybe that could work for us. And then let's see what information should be on here consistently. So what my plan is here is, because again, we're going to data merge this, I'm going to make this like template sheet as clean as we want and have all the information we want on there. So that when we data merge it, it's just the additional information. So whatever I want to be there, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Permanently, I guess, is what we're going to put on this sheet right here. So we're going to add that up there. I think we're going to do our little like rain cross guy. I think he could live, I don't know, maybe right here. Also, sorry, I tend to give my design pieces little characters and call them, you know, he's doing this or look how cute. So I don't know why. Maybe it's a designer psychosis that I'm having here. Okay. That's cute. And then I'm envisioning, right, like we're gonna put our name here, or maybe it's gonna be like the month. Let's see what's in our data set. Our month is gonna be the parking number and the type of pass. Okay, so let's envision then that our type of pass is gonna be here. So this will be like month long, and then this will be the parking pass number maybe. So yeah, maybe let's do that. Let's do it on that side. No, I think it looks better there for balance reasons. Do I like it in that color? Maybe it's a little heavy. Let's do it in the lighter color so that way it's not really that distracting. Let's move this up. I just want to get more of the mountain in there. I feel like the mountain's like really cool. All right, I'm gonna maybe make an audible call here, and I'm going to move these so I can grab the cross, but I'm gonna scale this down a little bit so we can have the mountain be bigger and get more of that texture in there, but then use this element. We'll just say it's a different perspective. You're lower on the mountain or something. Okay, scale this back over. Cute. I like that. That way we're getting a little bit more of the mountain texture in there. Maybe we'll put this back up here then. And maybe that just doesn't have any copy on it. That's fine with me. Sometimes, yeah, it's not going to be the most accurate to what it was, but it is going to serve the purpose better. So that's kind of what we're going for here. Maybe we'll make that back into the dark. No, I think I like it light. Okay, cool. So I think that's looking pretty good. Let's bring this again over into InDesign and see how this is working for us. I don't know how this is going to lay out, so I'm going to pull this out for now. And then if we want to add it back in InDesign, we can do that. Let me make sure this is centered to my artboard. So when we pull that in, I won't be able to move it, but that should be okay. And then we'll center it and then pull it here. Maybe this should be like the gray. Let's keep it white. I think that's fine. I just don't want it to blend into the background too much, you know? Maybe it's light blue. Let's keep it white. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure this is my artboard too. I'm gonna name this parking pass. And we made this, I think, 3x4. So 3x4. Great. So let's export this. I'm gonna do it as a JPEG. That's fine. Range 2. Oops, 2 because it's our artboard. Export. Let's do 300 because this is going to go to print, and make sure we change this to CMYK for the same reasons. Love that. Okay, so in InDesign, also we should save this. That seems important. This is going to be under our print, and this is going to be there, InDesign. Great. Okay, so let's go ahead and make a new one then. So new document. And we are gonna, again, make this ready for print. So inches, it's gonna be 3x4 height, and this is gonna be our Mount Rubidoux parking pass. And I'm gonna name it again 3x4. Love it. Okay, margins are fine. I kind of like them smaller. I'm gonna make it a little smaller. Margins 0.25, doesn't really matter, it's just like a guide there. And then this is gonna be our bleed as well. Create, love that. Okay, and now we're gonna place our artwork here. So I'm gonna do this the correct way. Normally I would just drag and drop, but I'm gonna do file place. And then I'm gonna come in here to our folder and click the 5x7 that I was hoping for. I'm gonna start in the corner and click drag out to the side so it scales correctly. It looks like it missed a little bit, so let's pull that over, and then I'm going to right click and do fitting and then fill frame proportionally. Amazing. So you can see this is close to the margin. The margin is going to be this like purple and pink line, but that's okay. Our margin is are we close here? What's happening over here? There seems to be a little bit of a gap, but we'll figure that out. So yeah, it's close to the margin, which is fine, but it's very far away from the black line. The black line again is our print line, so that's the most important part. So let's go ahead and data merge this one. I'm gonna just, well, that's okay. I'm gonna follow a similar suit to what we had over there. So we're gonna do, select our data source. So we have our data merge open. We're gonna select data source and we're gonna choose that same one. And then we're gonna just do parking. Our type of pass is gonna go up here. So let's format that. I think I'm gonna do that in the Condor. I like that one. Let's do medium. I feel like that was too heavy. Let's go make this bigger, right? So this is what the park ranger or official city person is going to be looking at to make sure that they are parked correctly. So let's do type of pass, and I'm going to do this in preview mode again so I can just make sure that it's looking clean. Align that center, type of pass, so that should be fine. We might have to adjust if the copy is too long. And then let's do the parking number as well. So let's make a little text box. We're going to go back to our data merge and choose parking number. So that's going to go here, which is going to be interesting because it's just a number, but this looks a lot longer than it is. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that for how that's going to merge. Let's change that to Condor black. That can be really big for us. I think that's fine. This is going to be weird to merge it like this. Let's see. Let's preview. Yeah, see, so it's just going to be a small little number. So we're going to make that like a lot bigger then. Let's make that like, I don't know, 80. That may be too big. Let's see. Oh yeah, 80 is too big. Let's go smaller. Let's do 60 and see where we're at. Yep, still too big. Okay, feeling 40. 40 feels good. Okay, let's do that. And that's going to probably be like your parking number or like your spot number maybe, or maybe that's like their entrance. I don't actually know. So that looks good. I think that's the longest. Let me double check our data. Yeah, month long is definitely the longest like word phrase. So I'm feeling comfortable that that's gonna flow fine. Let's do that. And then maybe let's add maybe some content right here. So let's pull in our little badge. I think he can come over now. Put that right here, make it look good. Maybe it goes on the other side. Yeah, and then let's add a, oh, I don't know why I would do it there. Let's add a box here. That's gonna say like parking pass. We'll just label it since we have some room here. Parking pass number, and let's make that, let's try it in Helvetica. Amazing, that text box was too big. Okay, let's highlight all of this. Ooh. And use the eyedropper tool just to click that first part. Love that. Maybe that sits here. Maybe we'll do that as like a hard return. Maybe we do that. Oops. Let's go with 360 with the text. Okay, let's try something like that. Okay, parking pass number. Love that for us. Okay. Maybe it's a little bit in the corner. It's hard, definitely, huh? Because it's white. It has no like border here. Don't know if we love that. It's hard to tell where it is, huh? Okay. Let's do that. Parking pass number. And then like, maybe we'll put, feels like a little empty right here, huh? So maybe, you know what we're going to do? Let's do, I'm going to do Command Copy, Command F, which is going to paste one version in front. And then I'm going to cut this with the eraser, just holding shift straight across to get us a little like bottom shape there. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to give us a little bit of like interest down here. I'm going to make this a little bit taller. Just judging off the space we have here, I feel like we have room that we could play with. Or maybe this goes at the top and this is like your parking pass. Let's do that. We'll put this at the top. So I'm just going to rotate that. I'm going to pull this down. So this is going to now sit where our type of pass is. So we'll change this type, color, and everything so it works for us. But let's do that, and then our parking pass will sit down here, and then maybe let's do like our national. I don't know if it's actually on this one. We have it up here. We do. Okay, great. Let's do local national park services down here so it feels more official. Great. And this is spelled correctly, which is more important. Just kidding, it's not, but I'm glad that it is. Okay, local national park services. Let's do like Riverside, California. Guys, I don't know. This is getting pretty official. They just might believe, and I'm going to add a stroke to this as well, just because I don't like that it's like blending into the background as much, but I'm just going to make it this dark green. So I'm going to select that hex code, come here, go to my stroke panel, paste it there. I don't love that it has an outline, right? Usually if there's an outline, it means your contrast isn't like amazing, but for what we're learning here, love that. Any shortcut for alignment center in InDesign? Yes. Are you asking just for like the artwork? I can show you that. So we'll re-put this one in. Okay, I'm liking how that looks. So we're going to export this again. So file, export as. We're going to do the JPEG again. I'm just going to replace this, so hopefully it'll just update it for me, which is awesome. Export, replace. Same settings. Oh, actually, I lied. Sorry, that was RGB. Let's do that as CMYK. Export as, yes, JPEG, yes. I'm going to click on here to copy the name for the file. Replace, yes, and then let's change this to CMYK. Love that. Okay, 300 looks great. We're going to go back into InDesign. And it should tell me that I have an error here. Yes, my link is broken, which is great. So if you don't know about InDesign, that's very helpful. So this is going to take me to the link, and then you could do it in here. You can do, how do you do it? You right click it. You know, there's the right way of doing this. I'm just going to drag and drop it because that's usually how I end up fixing it. So it is in our 5x7 print, actually. Let's drop that in there. And so it just automatically resizes it and refits it to what it was, since it was the same. So to answer your question about aligning center, I usually will click. So let's use this as an example. I'll click on here. I'll go back to the align panel on the right, and then go down here to this little flyout panel. And you can do align to selection, margins, page, spread. This is a single page document, I believe. I don't think it's facing pages, which is what you would use for a book, or yeah, a longer magazine document. So I'm gonna close this. So you would come in here and click align to page, and then you're just gonna go and press align center like you would. Let me know if that answers your question. You've got mailers, that's very funny. Yes, if we could have Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan in here, that'd be amazing. So let's change the color of this so that way you can see it. And I think this is fun. It's gonna give us like a little more like, yeah, good things are happening here. Okay, let's add a title up here that's gonna be like pass type. Let's reference also our photos. I don't know if this is like content that people put on passes. I feel like it is, but let's just see. Because again, we're trying to make this as convincing as possible. So let's see. Daily pass. Okay, it doesn't say pass type. What does this one say? Annual pass. Okay. It's not really giving us anything there. All right. Well, maybe we won't do a label. Maybe we'll just take that off. Okay. So we'll do parking pass, or maybe this is going to be like, yeah, we'll leave it like that. Okay, so we have this here. Maybe this is like expires. Oops. I'm going to put this up here. Maybe. We'll see. We'll delete it for now. We'll pull off the artboard. Okay, and then maybe this will be like year. Let's do like 23. Since it's happening this year. And I'm going to sample from there. I was pulling off of this because it says like expires. Maybe we do that. I don't know. All right, maybe we'll just leave the seal for now. I would need to consult the local officials to see what they say. So we'll just do this for now. Okay. Love this parking number. Love it. Maybe this feels a little bit low now, but let's just do like that. Okay. So we have our data set there, which is only, we're doing the parking type of pass, which is going to be our duration. And then this is our spot number. And we've laid out everything that's going to be standard on it. This is going to be a cutout right there with the white part for hanging it up. And then we could just go ahead and data merge. So I think we're happy with how this looks. I feel like this looks okay. If anyone has any thoughts or opinions, you say something, that would be amazing. Okay, so we're going to click here again, create a data merge, and we're going to just go let it do its thing. No overset text was generated. That's a great thing. So let's double check. So it looks a little pixely right now, I think, because it's just previewing, but let's make sure that everyone got in here correctly. So we got day pass, great. Spot 51, awesome. We got day pass again, 52. I'm gonna press Shift W so you can see this bigger and just see how we're looking here. Yeah, this looks great. This looks super official. I'm believing it. And the thing about InDesign that's great, again, as you can tell, we're tagging through all of these. We did 10 with like a few clicks, and everything is in the same place, everything like that. So you don't have to worry about making sure it's super accurate like that. When you're designing a poster, do you use grids? On occasion, yes. So if I'm trying to get something to make sure that it's like centered correctly or like, you know, laid out evenly, I will use grids. It just depends on the type of design. Hey, Josh is in the chat. What's up, Josh? Josh is one of my good friends. He's also a graphic designer. We get to work together. He also does a lot of cool social media stuff. You missed yesterday, Josh. You would have liked it. It was a lot of social media stuff. Cool. So here's our parking passes, and then I'm going to turn off. Oh yeah, we should save it. Let's do that. So I made a folder for it called parking passes. So we're going to delete the one, InDesign document. Great. Let's save it. And I'm going to turn off our preview mode so we can see our screen modes. Yes, back to normal to make sure that our bleeds are there and everything is looking good. I don't see any issues. There's no overset text. So I would say this is like good to go. I feel good about this. I like this. So let's do a file, export. We have that. And I'm going to do a new folder that just says like passes for print. How about that? Create. Love it. Has our sizing. Awesome. PDFs. Great. We're going to do all of them in the range. We're going to do pages. We're going to make separate pages for that and make sure our marks and bleeds are on. They are. That looks great. Okay, let's do export. And then let's go check that our files are there. Look at that. So now we can pass this off to the printer or whoever's in-house making these for us so that everyone can get their parking pass correctly. So there you go, guys. That's the power of data merge and the easiest way to get copy into one place. So let's go back and I don't know why we have so many going on here. Love that for us. Okay, cool. Let's go back and make a different, what's it called? A different poster or a different 4x6 or 5x7 card that we can sell in like the gift shop or something like that. Can we rewatch the sessions? Yes, that's a great question. So it should be on Behance. I think it lives there. And then I also think it lives on YouTube as well. If you just search, I think, my name and Adobe Live, it should come up. But maybe Andrew or our moderators could tell you a little more. I'm not actually sure. But yes, they are online somewhere doing well. Okay, let's think in this. Let's do a 4x6. So I'm just going to redraw an artboard here. Does anyone have any questions about like what we learned today? Or I don't know, any other data merge questions or just, yeah, print questions, national park questions. I can do my best to answer. Watch as many times. Yeah, until you get that data merge down, that's what we can do here. Okay. Actually, let's pull in from our social media. I feel like we had some fun little things going on here. I kind of like our little type layout from here. I like this. Let's pull these over. Let's scale these back down. Oops. There we go. We got the link. Thank you. Okay. I feel like, you know, like wish you were here. In parentheses, sweating as we walk up Mount Rubidoux is the correct answer, but wish you were here. I like that. Oh, you know what I really wanted to do? I kind of wanted to make this like our little like stamp. You know when you like get a post office stamp and it has like the little squiggly lines? I have no idea what those mean. Does anyone know what the squiggly lines mean? But I think it'd be really fun to make this look like it was a stamp. So I'm going to do that by just drawing a pen tool line here. And I'm going to eventually I'm going to make this white. So let's just go ahead and make this white now. That looks good. And then I'm going to do, should I do 3 of these? Let's just do one for now. We're going to do effect, and then we're going to do distort transform, and then I'm going to do zigzag. And look, there it is. Just kidding. Okay, we're going to do smooth. We're going to reduce the lines on this. This is the easiest way, I think. You could hand draw these, maybe there's other ways, but this is usually how I make a consistent squiggly line. You could do like the amount if you want it really squiggly, but I think like to be the most true to like what I've seen, I think we're living in this area. Maybe it's like 0.3. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so then I'm gonna hold Option Shift and drag this down to make one more. Option Shift again, one more, and then I'm gonna click on all 3 of these, and I'm gonna align these to make sure that they're even, because that seems very post office official. We are aligning to a key object here, or just a selection. So I'm gonna highlight all 3, and then I'm gonna distribute evenly. Love that. And then I'm gonna group, well, maybe I want them a little farther apart. Yeah. So I highlight again, distribute, Command G to group these. And then we're gonna do it across here. So I feel like looking at the thickness, right? Like something doesn't match up here. So let's make this a little bit thicker. up the stroke, and then I'm gonna make these rounded just because everything else is pretty roundy here. Sample this in white, so now we got a little stamp guy going on here. Maybe it's like twisted a little bit. It feels stampy. Squiggly lines. It's not, it's actually, sorry, I'm trying to make this look like a little stamp, you know, like on a postcard you would see, if that answers your question. So it's just more of a design element. Maybe this should be like the darker green too, because this looks a little crazy. So I'm gonna outline these or expand these. Do it one more time so they're not longer. So I'm gonna make them into shapes. Yeah, what are the squiggly lines though? Does anyone know? I feel like Andrew would know in all of his knowledge. Okay, no one knows. He doesn't know either, he says. So Andrew's producing the show, so he is just watching all this, and on occasion will say things to me, and it scares me. I'm like, oh, who's talking? But it's just Andrew. Okay. I kind of like this. I'm gonna pull this one over, and then I'm gonna make this almost like looking like it's a stamp, I think. I don't know why, but it just feels fun. I'm in a stampy mood, apparently. Everything's gonna be stamps today. So I'm gonna pull off the appearance that we added yesterday of this drop shadow to make this look flat like a stamp, right? Although maybe a stamp wouldn't have this copy at the top, but let's do something like this for now and see how it goes. To make the stamp edge, I'm going to draw a box and use our Pathfinder to kind of make that little like scallopy edge you could do. So I'm gonna pull this off here so I'm not on top of the artboard. It just seems easier to me. I'm gonna make this white, and then I'm gonna make circles. Oh, okay, we have an answer. Oh, they accepted the value of the stamp so you don't reuse it. Oh, wow, look at that, the more you know. The post office is amazing. Honestly, the fact that anything gets anywhere amazes me. And that it's like handwriting too. Like they're not using InDesign. I don't know what program they're using. Okay, so this, sorry, that's probably like an ineffective way of making scallops. So I'm gonna probably make this smaller too. Like feel like stamp scallops, that's a hard word to say, are smaller. So we'll do this, and then I'm gonna drag this all the way over here. So we're gonna make a repeating path right now. So I'm gonna highlight both of these, and then I'm gonna do object, is it path, shape? What am I looking for here? How come I can't think of this? Yes, blend, edit, blend, object, blend, make. Where's blend? Okay, blend, make. When you know where it is, when you know how to do it, but you can't figure out where it is anymore. Okay, blend, blend options, and let's drop this down to specified steps. And then I like to just like play around. So let's see, like 6. That may not be enough. Let's try 7. Okay, yeah, that feels stampy. Can I do 6.5? Am I gonna break InDesign right now, or Illustrator? I can. Okay, that feels stampy to me. So I'm gonna make these into a shape now instead of like a blend path. So they're all shapes now. And I think they're a group, which is great. I'm gonna highlight click both of these. I don't like how these don't look like centered. Okay, I'll recenter these. Okay, and then since I have both highlighted, I'm gonna highlight both, Pathfinder, subtract front. So now I got my little stamp, scallopy edge. And she fit perfectly. Okay, so I'm gonna put this, well, it's a pretty big scallop, but you understand the idea. If you want to scale this and practice this on your own, by all means do so. And then we're gonna copy this all around. Again, this is just how I would do it. If there's like a better way or a different way, I'm sure there are. But this is just kind of how I would go about it, which is a little bit chaotic at this point because it's not aligning. We'll just scale the size up a little bit. No one will know. Or actually, you know what we can do? We'll pull this one down and then pull this in. How about that? That's more even. I'll probably have to do the same on this side. Love that for us. Okay, cool. And we're going to copy this over to the other side. We're going to do array or transform reflect. Love it. Awesome. So we're definitely wrapping up our stream today. So I hope that you learned more about data flowing and how that works. And I have become even more convinced that Mount Rubidoux is a national park. Yeah, so up next, I believe there's another stream. I'm not sure what it's about, Andrew, if you know, or Cody. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be the Adobe Express Bootcamp. So stick around for that. Definitely, it should start right at 10, I believe. We'll just wrap this up over here. I don't know, is it weird to put a stamp on a stamp? It kind of is, huh? I kind of like it. And then tomorrow we are going to be doing an email campaign. So we're going to be working in Illustrator, most likely, and then it's going to be the same time. And I'm going to be making GIFs in Photoshop as well. Stay tuned on what the GIF is. Maybe it'll be like a sunrise. I don't know what the GIF is going to be, but we're going to make a GIF in Photoshop, design the Illustrator email flow for what that's going to look like. And then you can't really merge the two, but as you would pass it off to a client, that's kind of how we're going to finalize the files. So I'll show you how I set up email campaigns and then GIFs, and then we will be closing out our campaign for this week and our boot camp, but it's been so much fun. So tomorrow, 9 to 10, our last day, email marketing, and we're just going to bring this whole thing to a close, which is really exciting. So stick around after this. Adobe Express is up next. And then yeah, tomorrow 9 to 10, our last day together for bootcamp, which is really exciting. So thanks for coming today, you guys. If you have any questions, I'm just going to be finishing this up. Feel free to ask in chat. And then we can just keep hanging out together. But appreciate you guys joining today and make Mount Rubidoux a national park.